Well, guess what? Welcome to the Mental Margarita Show. I got Felice Schlesinger in the house. This is unbelievable. She's an amazing mother, first and foremost. CEO of Determined Management as well, as a radio personality in Determined Radio, as well as Orchestration Radio, A&R manager. The list goes on and on. Oh, man. And she's also a heavy participant in the community in Chicago. Where did all this determination come from?
It's in my blood. It's just in my blood. It's just in my, and I think it's because I'm an Aquarius, and Aquarius, we're known for being humanitarians for sure. And we're known for having a lot of heart and a lot of love. And so I definitely love what I do. And I think that's super important. A lot of people I know are stuck in jobs that they can't stand and they hate and they can't wait to get home. I luckily don't have that issue yet. I hope I never do. I never do. But yeah, I just think it's just in my blood. It's just how I am. Just how I am.
And so are you originally from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm born, bred Chicagoan. Yes. Yep.
Wow. I got a good buddy in Chicago. And let me tell you something, I've spent plenty of time there and I've had an amazing time.
Yeah, I love Chicago. I don't know if I think maybe some point you'll get me out. My kid goes to college in 2 years, so maybe, but I don't know. We'll see. I love Chicago.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, you were one of the top newsmakers making a difference in the communities of Chicago. Yep. Tell me about Stand Up for Kids.
So Stand Up for Kids is a drop-in center. We are located on the north side of Chicago. So in the city, I live in downtown Chicago. I don't live in a suburb. So when people say Chicago, I really live in Chicago. A lot of people like to say, and they live in the suburbs. Okay, but I really live in Chicago. So Stand Up for Kids is a drop-in center. It's on the north side of Chicago. It's basically a place where kids that are under the age of 24 can come in and get some food. They're usually street kids, gang kids that have, family issues. Maybe they live at home still, maybe they don't. A lot of LGBTQ. What else? And basically that's how that rolls. And so they can come in and get some food, and we have a donation closet. They can get some clothes. They can charge their phones. A lot of kids have like government phones, so they have that. Yeah. They can charge their phones, get a hot meal because they don't get that. There's TVs everywhere. They can play video games. So that's on one of the nights, and then we have like more of a structured night that we're doing now. So we have people coming in that we have now computers, so they can come and like learn something. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like appointment, they come in, they can sit at a computer. We will teach them like graphics or any kind of like media type stuff. So that's the thing. Like you want to get them off the street, but they don't have any, or a lot of them have been incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? So now they're out and they don't know. They can't get a job or, any of that kind of stuff. So we deal with a lot of that. So yeah. I've been there for probably over 6 years. Before that, I was actually at a drop-in like emergency shelter, which is where they would go to sleep. We could only take so many kids and they'd sleep on mats on the floor and that kind of situation. So I started with that. Actually, even before that, I started with just feeding people on the street and that kind of thing. And then I found it. And I started volunteering at this shelter, and that shelter led me to Stand Up for Kids. But I've been doing this probably my whole life. I mean, I had my kid. She's 16 now. She's a baby, a newborn in that backseat, and I'm feeding dogs on the street. Whatever. That's just
how you just got a big heart. You got a big heart, and everybody knows that how bad it's been in Chicago. Being in the music game. There's been so much violence and things that have been very unfortunate. So, just hearing that, knowing that there's people out there that are caring, that are fighting this, because, a lot of these kids, they don't have the right parenting or they don't have the right, foundation. So it's good that you're providing that.
That's definitely for sure. There's a lot of people. I've networked with a lot of people that are doing the same kind of thing, that they're doing like from 3 to 5 and free groceries. And like, I try to post that as much as I can. There is Stand Up for Kids Facebook page. There is a Stand Up for Kids. It's Stand Up for Kids Shy on Instagram. So you can go to those. And I usually put stuff in the stories and stuff. So if my kids can find that stuff and be like, oh, I'm going to go over there today. So just,
That's cool.
I try
That
to
is
do.
cool. I'm loving
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Now,
it's fun.
determine management group. What is that? Okay. What does that roster, as well as the vision of that management group, what does that look like?
So that started basically it's actually kicked off because of Stand Up for Kids. And one of my kids, who's now in their 30s, well past, said to me, they're like, I'm an amazing rapper. I really need a manager. I need you to manage me. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. So now we're talking like 10 years ago now. And I'm like, I don't know anything about management. What? And he's like, could you do this? Could you help me find shows? Yeah. He's like listing things. And I'm like, yeah, I could do all those. Okay, well, then you could be a manager. So I'm like, let me just dive into that and see what that looks like, So from that, it just led to the next. Everything just led from one thing to the next. So management then led to radio. Radio then led to I take it back. Management led to doing shows around Chicago and headlining people, and then that led to radio. And it's just like a tripod, or however that word is,
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So kind of one
that's
thing
divine intervention.
Yeah. And I love it. So that's, I'm just like, okay, I'll learn that. I love growth. I crave growth. I crave it. So if I can grow and learn something, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if it's scary, I'm going to be scared, but I'm still, that's the thing. You still got to do it. Like
you got to face your fears.
Whatever you're scared of, that's what you should be doing then, just dive in and do it. You'll figure it out as you go.
Yeah. I like that. I think that's a great way of thinking. Yeah. And so what are you have any artists that you want to give a shout out that are part of your management group?
So I manage Ejilla Beats. He is actually he actually has a studio here in Chicago. He's you can find him on BeatStars too. It's Ejilla Beats. It's EJILLA Beats. You can find him on BeatStars. He's a producer. He's an engineer. He's a DJ. He's an artist, and he's a writer. So he's all of those things.
Wow.
A lot going on. And so I manage him, and then I manage another artist that is formerly Willie Neal. He's now Love Child. It's LVCHXLD. So there's no vowels.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, what does that say? And like, it says Love Child. And they're like, oh yeah, I see it now. Like, so he changed his name during COVID. So Willie Neal is actually also a producer. So he is a producer of Willie Neal. It's the same person. Producer Willie Neal, but his artist name is Love Child. So he actually makes his own beats for his own music as well. So if you see, it'll say produced by Willie Neal, artist is Love Child. It's the same person. It confuses people, but it's the same. I know. He is also a videographer. He's also a videographer as well. So he does videos on, and his uncle is actually Death Row Records, Danny Boy. So
Danny Boy.
That's his mom's brother. So yeah, so he's been in this business for a long time, learned a lot of stuff from Danny Boy. Learned all the business part of it, and then came out as an R&B singer as well.
Yeah, Danny Boy, I'm sure has got a lot that he can teach him.
And he has
a whole lot. Shout out to Danny Boy.
Yeah, shout out to Danny Boy.
Now, radio can be a vital part of an artist's, success story. Now, is it still true in 2023, with all the resources that are available now, that radio still plays a very instrumental, thing to the careers, or can the artist go without it?
That's a great question. I'm gonna steal that, by the way, just so you know. That's a great question. I still think it's vital. I mean, I definitely think it's vital still, I know everybody, especially in Chicago, they all want their music played on the radio in Chicago, and they want to jump in their car, they want a video and stunt it.
They want to hear it.
They want to hear it. I know as far as like being a manager that I try to get, my goal is to get this music globally out. A lot of people get stuck in Chicago, and I try to that. Why are you guys so concerned about getting your music? Like, I got music in Vegas, I got his music in California, I got it global, I got it in New Mexico, I got it in South Africa, I got it everywhere. That's the point. But I know a lot of people do get stuck, especially in the big cities. They like, I just wanted to be in New York. Or look at your stats, look where your music is going, go there, go do shows there. Like, you got to get outside,
Right, you got to get outside.
Yeah, you definitely, what's not the dopest thing ever is to walk into a club and they're playing your music.
Yeah,
that
kind such a high.
That starts with radio. Some DJ off radio is now a DJ because these DJs are not just radio DJs, they are DJs everywhere. So, this DJ is like, oh, I just broke this record on radio. Let me bring this to the club, like, yeah, it's vital. It's vital for sure.
You know what? I agree with you. Now,
Yeah.
orchestration radio, is that, what's the difference between that and determined radio?
Okay, so determined radio started on FM 4 years ago. And then 2 years into it, I met Ejil Beats, and he was like, listen, I have a studio. I've been doing kind of like a little bit of a radio show, but I kind of want to host. And he's like, I'd love for you to host my show. I'm like, okay. So he was doing the show out of his studio. He has a backdrop, the whole thing and everything too. And I'm like, all right. So I started hosting his show. And I said, well, if I'm going to host your show too, I need to do something different. So my show, Determined Radio, has a co-host, which is Stacy. And so I'm like, maybe for the orchestration radio show, I'll change my co-host every week. Every Tuesday, I'm going to change it. It's going to be an artist. It's going to be another radio personality from some other show. It's going to be an author. It's going to be somebody with a brand. This is how I'm going to network. I'm going to bring some unity into Chicago, because we have zero, by the way, over here. And then I'm going to network shit. And he's like, okay. So that's what happened. So then what happened is that the Determined Radio on FM, the station wound up closing. It was supposed to have a buyout. The buyout fell through. And so she had wound up moving to Houston. I didn't want to buy the station. That didn't happen. And so I brought Determined Radio to the orchestration radio to his studio. And so I built off of that. So now I went off of FM, which, by the way, you make more money not doing it on FM. Don't tell anybody that. But because you can now monetize. Now you see why all these radio stations have apps now, because they figured it out. Because the transmitters get you as much money as you're going to get when you're going to monetize onto iTunes, Spotify. Now you're going to get royalties. So now you see all these big radio stations with apps now, because who's in their car? Not in Chicago, maybe in Vegas, but not in Chicago. So I wound up bringing Determined Radio there. So Determined Radio is now 4 years old, and the orchestration radio now is 2 years old. So it's basically the same concept. It's the only difference really is the day, the backdrop, and the co-host. I mean, other than that, I interview not just artists. I interview brands, labels, entrepreneurs, whoever. I don't care. You got a book? Come on. But like whoever. Right. I love when I have something else that's not music, because after a while it's like, okay, I'm done. Like, can I have someone else now?
Believe me, I know.
Like, one more rapper today. You know what I mean? Like, and hundreds and hundreds of people. Hundreds. I mean, we're talking, 4 hours a week. I'm hitting six interviews a week times 4 years, like hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds. But I love it.
I can feel you. I can feel your pain and joy. Exactly. And you know what? I love your passion.
Yeah, I'm a big personality. I'm definitely a big personality. I show a lot of love. I give a lot of love. There's not enough of that. There's a lot of scammers, a lot of people like, trying to get money off these artists and all this kind of stuff.
Wasting your time. Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. And I try to like get that out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with doing shows, the same thing. You see all these janky ass promoters and all that. Yeah. I don't do anything janky. I have so many people that mess with me because of the fact that I do it for real. Like, I do the real stuff. And I keep it that way. And I will tell you like it is. Like, I'm an Aquarius. Don't ask me. I'm going to tell you the real answer. Right. Because I'm really going to tell you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Yes, please tell me. Okay, here's the real answer. No, don't do that.
You can't have yes men in your corner. You got to, or yes women.
No. Tell them, I warn them first. I'm like, listen, you really want me to answer this question for real? I'm going to really answer it. Are you sure? Like, before I answer it, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I definitely want the right answer. Your music sucks. No, I don't say it like that. I'm not going to say it like that. I want to, but I'm going to say it sucks in a nicer way. I feel like you should do this. And I feel like
it can get better. It can improve.
Yes.
And that leads perfectly to the next question. What are some of the things an artist needs to do in order to get to the next level?
The first thing I always tell artists, number one, the most important thing in the whole wide world is that this business is a business. This business is 99% of it. Your music is 1%. Now, back in the day, what did we used to say? We used to say it's 90-10. Blow that out. Blow it out. Because I was saying the same thing. I sat down with Begadon from Wu-Tang Management, okay? Sat down with him. He said, please throw it in the garbage. He's like, it's 99% marketing and business. It is 1% music. So from then on, shout out to Veganon, from 3 years ago on, I'm blowing you all out. It's now 1%. So that is the most important thing. I don't care if you don't drop nothing. Learn this business, learn the business. And if you were talking about getting a manager, you need to know more than a manager. Don't be coming to me and being like, please, can you manage me when you don't know how to get a dollar and I'm not babysitting. No, go learn the business and then come back to me. You know, learn that there's 13 to 16 royalties per song. Learn that you need to spread, like learn the actual business part of this. Because it will take you way farther than it's going to if you're going to be like, I'm gonna make a song in the studio, this will be a hot song, and then I'm gonna blow it onto Instagram, and then I'm gonna put it on Facebook, and then I'm gonna be famous. No, you're not. I promise you're not. You know, I mean, the likelihood of that is 0 to 9. You know, so like learn the business. That is literally the most important thing in the whole entire world. Sit there for 6 months. I don't care. I don't care how long you sit there.
These are great gems. These are great gems for the audience. So, audience, if
I'm definitely a gem.
Learn the business.
And then when you learn the business, and now that you've learned the business, now you need to learn how to be consistent. Because that is key. You need to learn how to be consistent, right? Like you see these artists, they're gone, they come back, they're gone, they come back. Then they wonder why nothing ever works, because you're gone, because you come back, because you're gone. You have to be consistent.
You gotta have discipline.
Yes, this is the business.
You're done. You're absolutely done without discipline.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you're doing this as a hobby, different story. You know what I mean? They're like a hip hop hobbyist type of situation. Yeah. You know, you have a real job, you got kids, you got this, and you just like throw out some stuff. Even if you throw out some stuff, that's fine too. But if you want to make money off it, you're wasting money. So you want to throw money on this, then learn the business still, because then you're going to get some royalties, even if you don't have time to be like a real artist, let's say. Let's use that word, fine. Like you're going to throw out a song, you're going to make some money off that music. But if you don't know how, why are you doing it?
That is so true.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Life is precious.
Yeah.
Time is precious.
Yeah.
Even though we're running out of time now, but guess what? I feel so excited that I got Felice in the house. If there is an artist watching this right now, and I'm sure there's a lot, how do they connect with you, Felice?
You could just go to either Facebook or Instagram, type in Determined Radio, done. I'm there, DM. I'm really good at answering back too. I'm really good at it.
You know what? You said something. I think I saw something that you commented on a post, and you were like, you know, if you don't support other people, stop crying about them not supporting you. I mean, that's just common sense, right?
You would think, but it's not. I always tell people that. I'm like, like, why are you guys on my Facebook timeline complaining about support? And I go look at your Facebook page. I don't see one person you put on there. I don't see you commenting on anybody's stuff. I don't see you liking stuff. I don't see you going to other people's shows. I do shows. I know who's there. I know what people come to my stuff. I know exactly. I don't have to ask you for nothing. I will never ask you to support me. I know who supports me. And then I'm going to hit you 10 times back, probably harder, because you support me, because that's just how I am. But these people are whining and crying about support, and like, stop using it. It's like, stop it. You just look stupid.
Yeah. You got to support, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to support Determined Radio.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure to meet Felice. Thank you so much for being on the show. We got to bring you out to Vegas. We got to collaborate soon.
Definitely. I know some people there, so I can come out there. I know some people.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you, and you have a good one now.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, let's check the world.
Big vibes.
Big vibes.
Yeah, man.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, my brother. And I say that because your gear right now is fire.
Ah, thanks, my brother.
Yeah, I'm all about swag, yo. Big vibes.
Welcome to the Margarita Show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You know, I'm really happy to be on the show.
Serrani, Jamaican dancehall singer, producer, musician. The hit song No Games, the astounding collaboration with Sean Paul. She Loves Me, Romance Me.
Oh my gosh.
Man, you're a lover, man. Oh, man. From Kingston, Jamaica. Did you know in your heart? Let me ask you something. Did you know in your heart early on that this was your calling?
To be a singer?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like, I didn't grow up singing.
You started off producing.
I started off just playing the piano as a kid. That's it. Like as a
Wow.
three-year-old, I fell in love immediately. You know what I
Wow.
mean? But it was nothing to do with singing. Like
Wow.
you know, you would never believe this. A lot of people won't believe this, but the first time I even knew that I had a voice was when I was 25.
Are you serious? 25?
I had no idea that I had this ridiculous tone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like it up to this day, I end up being just as much a fan as my actual fans because it's new to me. I didn't grow up knowing
Wow.
that I can sing. So and then I've always loved music. Like I'm extremely passionate about. I'm fully deeply in love with music. So to like my favorite artist of all time is Tracy Chapman.
Oh
Right?
God, Tracy. Yes.
Right. That she's my artist. And usually when I love an artist, it's because of the different tone of their voice, you know. It's
Yeah.
that's number one for me, the sound of the artist. And I like artists that sound different than anybody.
Yeah. That's so
So
important.
I've grown up loving Tracy as my number one because her tone is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
And her delivery also is ridiculous. So I don't know how it happened, but I ended up having like I sing like her a bit,
Wow. Isn't
you
that
know, like but and I don't know if it was I don't know what's going on. It's just a power, but she's my favorite artist. So up to this day, like her style,
yeah.
my style is 100% based off her style. But I still, obviously, I'm going to bring Serrani to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if I don't say it, you may not know, but really and truly, I emulate her, you know?
Oh wow. She's in your spirit. She's in your spirit.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that I literally just got up from the keyboard one day and I kept on singing and it kept on happening. Unfinished beat, get up, start to sing, and then I sing, and then I met the beat to match what I'm singing, you know,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and then I'm like, hold on, what's happening right now, you know? So I'm an artist now.
just like that. Because you were a keyboard player for like Wayne
Bounty Killer,
Marshall, Bounty
no,
Killer.
Bounty Killer, Wayne Marshall, and Assassin, Agent Sasko.
Wow. And you're talking, I mean, those are some greats right there. So you were just kind of doing that thing, and then all of a sudden it just came. And also you were producing for Movado.
Yeah, while all of that's happening, I'm like, so I'm on my grind.
Right.
Like I was telling the story to Porter B earlier. So Sting 2007, I had the hit song Dawn with Bugle,
Yeah.
but I'm still the leader of my General Bounty Killers band.
Right.
So at Sting, the first artist on our set is Bugle. So we there playing the beat that I made for Bugle Exercise, right?
Unbelievable.
And then when Bugle is done with that, Bugle calls out his producer, Serrani.
Oh my.
to sing though. So I leave my keyboard. I'm dressed. I'm like hot boy keyboardist. You know?
Right, right.
Like fly guy, like 100% swag every day. Right?
Every day. Come
So
on now.
it's easy for me to walk. I'm walking from the keyboard. I went out and I bust down Sting and I go right back and then we introduce Movado on stage and I'm playing for Movado and Bounty Killer.
Gosh.
I played 2 more shows and I'm like, my general, 2 of the most amazing years of my life, but I got to start a new journey.
It's time. And boy, did you step out.
Few months later, there's no games.
And let's talk about that. Okay. So what was the creative process to that? I mean, smash, because I mean that's just a worldwide smash. How did that even come about?
Real life experience is number one.
Yeah.
And also the movie too can play that game.
Oh, okay.
Morris Chestnut and Vivica.
Yes.
So I love that show. And I was just like, yo, this is so relatable. You know, and it's a stupid man and woman story, but it's just
Yeah.
real. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I say, you know what? I'm gonna write a song about it. Anyhow, wow. Just had that idea that I'm gonna write something about no games. Right? That's it. Just no games.
That's it.
That's all I had in my head. Just write a song about no games. My partner made over unfinished Showtime rhythm. They made over a makeover of Showtime rhythm.
Oh.
And I heard it and they were asking me to record on it and I was just listening to it for like a half an hour. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And then I say, you know what? Stick to what you know melodies. Go for the keyboard. I went to the keyboard and I played them chords.
Oh,
like, yo, didn't you say you were gonna write something about no games? I said, all right, the chords sound like it could be it. And then I was just like dun, 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 and it sounded like a nursery rhyme. I didn't like it, but I kept on singing it. I was just like, all right, that means that's it then. All right, let me try something else. Gay, no gay. Hold on. Love you, girl. Do you feel the same? I don't wanna play gay. I said, all right, that's it. I packed up my bags and I went home.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had it.
You knew it right there, man.
I had it. I went home and I woke up the next day, wrote the verses, recorded the song the next day. That and Romance the same day.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, you know what? When the universe just comes to you like that, man, it's just like, oh, it's perfect, man. It was perfect. And that melody was just contagious. Because I'm originally from Miami, so
yeah.
And I was hitting that everywhere.
Yeah, that song did well out there.
Yeah, it did very well out there. And so from that, you're moving forward now. And you got Say Yes. You got Deeper, the new single. Is that the new single, Deeper?
Yeah, that's the latest one.
I'm liking that Deeper, man.
I'm liking it too, my brother.
I'm trying to tell you, man, that Deeper is going off.
Yeah, it's the first, so I've been working, I've been busting my brain trying to make this happen with as little resources with limited resources.
Right.
Right? Fact of the matter is the fire is blazing.
It's blazing for real.
But I was kind of forced to release Deeper because everybody knows that I'm blazing, but they can't hear nothing.
Right.
I don't release anything all year. So I said I didn't want to release anything that's weak. I didn't want to release any of the bombs as yet because we're not ready. We're not ready.
Right. You want to get it all right.
So deeper is like a smidget.
It's just an
Like
appetizer.
it's an appetizer. Like real Sparks, talk to me. Like, yo, I swear, like deeper is just really just appetizer, like a very light appetizer.
Wow.
So, and I don't wanna rush this thing, but summer is coming and I ain't missing summer.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not talking about one song. Like,
Yeah, I'm seeing the sparkle in your eyes, Ryan. I'm seeing that sparkle, man. Is it gonna be a Serrati summer? What's
Yo,
going
you
on,
caught
man?
me red-handed.
Oh man, come on, man. You should have worn some shades, man. You should have put. Yeah, there you go. Oh, so you've been working hard, man. And so, video rollout for deeper, or you just you're gonna lay low
We
for a
just
little.
threw it out.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Like
because I got a
with a
chance.
little bit of promotion, like we just threw it out. We just threw it out.
Yeah, so that's good. So you're setting it up well. The summer is gonna be something special. The sparkle is in the eyes. And then are you planning on going on tour?
I mean, look, if the tour is gonna happen.
Yeah,
The energy is here. I'm sure everybody sees it. You know,
it's
who
definitely
who is important? Who see it? You know,
that's true.
and the phones are ringing. You understand?
Yeah,
Like tours. That's the last thing on my mind.
yeah, that's gonna come.
What's on my mind is getting the songs ready because I know that there's a need for next level fire music, you
Yes,
know, and music is, as I said, it's my life, it's my passion, it's my wife, you know what I mean? So like
yeah.
I'm a give y'all something for real, real.
And
I'm
you
a,
know what? We got to bring you out in Vegas. I think that's something that needs to happen. But what do you think when you think of dance hall? When you think, because you add this pop thing to it, and it just really takes it to another level. I mean, where do you think the state of the music is when it comes to that? Do you feel like it's not getting the attention that it needs as much? What is your take on the landscape of reggae music as a whole, dancehall, all that good stuff?
I think there are many different factors.
Yeah,
Um, I think we need a school for dancehall.
that's deep.
You know what I mean? Like, or we're so ridiculously talented in our country. It's all around
Hmm.
that we need to nurture um our talented kids from school because a lot of our kids don't have the right family structure, you
Yeah,
know, and just simple as you take it, don't even really know discipline, and understand that there's a thing called work ethic. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta have it.
yeah. So, like,
It's so true, though. It's real true.
so that I would say on our end, the artists don't even understand the business. Even me sometimes there's some things I don't know too.
Yeah,
So like it would have been important for me to go to school, but there's no school in Jamaica. So I'm saying, like, for me, I think that our musicians need to know the business
yeah,
and also need to go to school for discipline too, go to a proper music school for reggae dancehall music for discipline too,
yeah,
so that's that end. Um on the other end, we don't have representation. We don't have a proper reggae dancehall music industry.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody. We don't have a proper company that can represent us. Like, we're majority of the time just doing it off the fly. Like,
Uh,
yo, okay, there's Serrani. All right. Let's go try this.
yeah. Yeah, that's true though.
But we're not trying nothing no more, yo.
Nah, no more trying.
Yeah.
Planning. I can see it. The summertime is Serrani. Serrani, one more question I want to ask you. And that is, how do you feel? How do you feel, man? How do you feel right now? Do you feel excited about life? I mean, there's so much craziness that's going on in the world. Us as artists, we gotta move differently. You know, there's just so much hate. How do you feel right now mentally? Are you in a good spot mentally?
It's very hard to be in a good spot mentally right now, but
Yeah.
the way I see it, as long as the world isn't like on fire right now, literally blazing, like
Yeah.
it's not no, there's no apocalyptic event going on right now. There's no world war yet,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to enjoy whatever we have going on right now, bro. I swear. So, I mean, my only job is music. And the only way for me to do it well is if I lose myself in it, and I literally the sparkle that you're seeing is me being in another world, in another realm. Like
I love that word,
I'm
realm.
in a whole different world right now. I'm not even sure if my consciousness is off. I swear I'm in a whole different world right now. Deep lost into music. I know nothing else but what I'm doing. I listen to my music every single day right through. You're interrupting me right now from listening to my music. Like, that's how serious it is.
No, I feel blessed. I feel lucky.
Yeah, like if I get on a call, I feel some type of way, like I want to get off.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friend just now. I actually want to just listen to my song.
Yeah.
Because I swear I'm in another world.
You're focused. You're focused.
Deep focus. Deep focus.
That's great. Well, I'm gonna let you focus back on your songs, but I definitely want to.
I was playing. It wasn't that serious. Don't do that. But yeah, that was your last question, though. You're right.
That was good timing. But I thank you, man. I thank you for coming on the Mental Margarita Show, man. It's a pleasure. And we definitely we gotta hook up, man, in the future, brother.
Big vibes, man.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? For the audience, is there any information you want to give them for them to keep updated with you and all that good stuff?
Yo, just follow me on Instagram at Surrounding Music. That's where I frequent.
Okay.
I'm always on Instagram, checking out what my fans is saying.
All right, man. Keep that sparkle, man.
Yeah, man. Big vibes, big bong buckler vibes.
Let's shake the world, brother. You have a good one.
Man. You too, my brother.
All right.
Bless.
Yeah. Welcome to the Mental Margarita Show. I got James Tate on the show. This guy is just absolutely phenomenal. The things that he does for the community, the passion that he has, and the will, and most importantly, he wants to make it a better world for the youth, for our generations to come, including us as adults being responsible and being kings. We gotta have kings and queens. We don't need some thugs running around.
Absolutely.
How you been, my brother?
Hey man, well, I am having a few medical issues right now, being up in age, man. And let me expand on that a little bit, man. I'm 68 years old, and most men, when they reach that age, man, they did develop prostate issues. And right now, I have an enlarged prostate. And prostate, it contracts you, enables you to urine. So I'm going through the process of, utilizing the medication to shrink it, to do whatever I got to do. It's been a 2 months process. Never been in a situation where I had any type of medical issues in my life, none whatsoever. So it's kind of, it's an experience
Good for you.
But it's an awakening, because what I should have been doing, is, it makes me think about the things that we don't think about until it happens,
Yeah.
So preparation, so it goes back to what we were speaking about earlier about preparing for our generations to come, If we don't do something in this time of turmoil that we're dealing with right now, our future generations are definitely doomed to destruction, man, because this is certainly destruction that we are witnessing right now, man. And, my plight in life, like I'm formerly incarcerated, 26 years, federal and state, and I've been home now 20 years. Started doing this work when I was inside. I started doing PCRs and doing appeals for other people. I can help get everybody out of jail but myself. And but I picked up a lot of knowledge on how the system operates and how to manipulate and operate the system, how to play in their ball field. So I came home and started working with various organizations to find different type of ways to restore justice, man, to bring back. I don't believe in criminal justice reform. There's no such thing as reforming a system that's designed to do exactly what it does.
That's right.
What we need is restorative justice. Restorative justice, okay, if I do wrong, let me make amends to you for what I did. And we sit down and make an applicable deal with that situation. That's restoring justice, okay?
Right.
Whatever would satisfy you, and actually, I'm working on a process of reaching back to some of the victims that I had back in the 80s and the 70s that I was doing my thing to. And I want to see what type of amends I could make. And I want to do it publicly and make it natural to say,
wow.
Now, if I'm ready to, go back and say, okay, I did wrong, I did wrong to you. How could I make it up to you? You know what I'm saying? Even though, and, some people might, whatever it is, it's up to, us to sit down. But that's how you restore justice.
Yeah.
If you Google it, you'll see what it is. There's no such thing as reforming it. This is designed to do exactly what it does. Goes all the way back to the first badge that was ever placed on a man. It was there to catch slaves, and to this day, bring you to exactly this day, which is 209. The situation with our president, I want to understand that the whole criminal justice system is on trial as far as I'm looking at the spotlight. And I'm already seeing, disproportions. I'm like, you say you're not going to put handcuffs on him?
Right.
You say you're not going to prep walk him?
Right.
So why you talking about the Constitution and how this thing's supposed to be done? To my understanding is when they put the handcuffs on you, that's when they extract your liberties.
Right.
Not when you walk into the courtroom. Now you're dealing with the situation. Well, if that's the case, wait till you get everybody to court, and then we talk about it. So you don't lock them up, because once they put the handcuffs on you legally, that's when they extract your liberties.
That's right.
So, and we want to revert back to the way the Constitution is supposed to be operated. You're already diverting right here. So the whole criminal justice system is on trial as far as showing us exactly what January 6th. This is January 6th all over again.
I'm telling you.
So I don't care about telling it. I don't care. Do what you may. I work directly for Jesus, so I have no problem going to meet him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell it. I'm going to bring it. You know what I mean? So, and it's my passion, man. It's my way of making the 26 years that I spent behind the fences count for something. If I save one life, I'm here, and I fell in love with this work. So that's why I'm here, man. I don't want anything but to get the word out, to get the message out, man, that look, we need to come together as a people, man, and build our own, man. Stop waiting on these people to worry about these people. These people are going to do exactly what they're doing. They're not going to stop. They did. You will die trying. Let's do it, man. And it comes through our youth, man. We passed it, stick a fork in us, man. But take the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding that we have acquired through our generation and give it to them, man. And let's teach them how to love, how to communicate and build amongst themselves. Teach them that they are the kings, the queens, the rulers, they are the earth, they are the foundation of the universe. And unified, they created this what was in existence right now. So they can recreate it even better with the technology, with all they could. But we have to tell, okay, get all of your nephews. Oh, you got brothers and sisters. Get all their kids once a month. Get on Zoom. Talk to each other. Build on each other. Create a relationship.
I love that idea.
You know what I'm saying? I love that. So that you can start building right there within the family, within the structure. We got to take ourselves. I ain't looking for nobody. Ain't no cop to save our homes. Ain't nobody come to save us. Ain't no ship coming.
No.
We got to build it, man. So it starts with us, man. We got a mindset to actually take care of our business, man, and stop worrying about what's going on, because as I say, broad and spacious is the road to destruction. What's going on is supposed to happen. God said it. He said that this is the devil world. He's going to rock it. It's going to be a few people do my work. So be with those few people. Be glad that you are those people that want to do the right thing, because it's only like 2%. The other 98, they're working for the devil, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. But look, hey, when that thing come at them, I know what it already feels like. To be on their side. They think that's torture. This here, when this comes, you know what I mean? I'm glad where I'm at.
Come on, someone's preaching now. Someone's preaching.
Hey man, it's all, it's through life, through experience. I don't go, I had a reporter. She tried to embarrass me. She asked me, what gives me the authority to speak in the manner that I speak on the subjects of restorative justice, criminal justice. I'm saying, to your standards, ma'am, it is the fact that you say you do something for 25 years, you're considered as a master or an expert. I spent 26 years in prison. So that gives me 26 years of penology, the penal justice system. From getting locked up to going to court, to going through the parole, the probation, and whatever, the juvenile, and I went through it actually on deck, not no books, no theory. So that gives me 25 years of penology, sociology, society inside, just as a society out there. I overcame that one, I overcame this one. So that's two society, 25 years of that. Penology, how the penal justice system work inside when you're inside, your liberties are extracted, how to be a slave. They taught me 25 years of that. And then I got 68 years of streetology. So, you can't,
that's a lot of ologies. That's a lot of ologies.
Yeah, man, because she wanna try to ask me where I get my creds from. My creds come from real life. I don't need those books. You know what I'm saying? I stood in front of those judges. I dealt with the DAs. I dealt with the public defenders or pretenders. I know the system. So I'm here to bring it to the youth and to educate them how to, let's put the curriculum inside of the schools where we teach them their human rights and their constitutional right, and not just what they are, but how to exercise them. Hold on, Mr. Officer, under the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution, you're not allowed to and actually know that. You know what I'm saying? The hidden knowledge, you know what I'm saying? This is what I want to bring to it, so that we can take all those prisoners that they violated and put them in prison and find the flaws through the Constitution and through the laws and bring them back, so we can have those cases like they be saying early in the morning. If you was violated by such and such, cause such and such and such, we get them to call it for those cases that they got locked up. All of those hundreds of cases, because they don't do it legally, because they don't have to. So
and James, and no, this is great, man. This is what we need. This is what we need. And going back to the youth, what I wanted to bring to your attention, there was recently a tragic incident involving a shooting in East Flatbush that I heard that, you know, your group of people, the elite learners, were part of.
Well,
Tell me about that, and let's really let the audience know what the elite learners group.
let me do that
You
because
guys
that's
do.
what, man, elite learners have been like a lifeline to me as far as in bringing me back into New York to do the work. Let me go back to the history, right? As I say, I spent a lot of time incarcerated. So during that period, I met a gentleman, you know, just he from New York, I'm from New York, we in South Carolina, we doing time, so we bond, you know. I don't see him or hear from him 30 years, 30 years
Wow.
later. We someone told him, you know, this guy named James, like somebody told you, right? And he works in social justice. So at the time, I'm in South Carolina because I built out on, when Corona happened in New York, I went south and locked in, stayed down there for a couple of years and figured all this was going on. And then I was going to come back out. But he called me, he said, look, somebody told me that you could help my organization. So I said, well, let's see, what do you need? He said, man, they tell me that you understand restorative justice, criminal justice and stuff like that. So I said, oh yeah. So we talked for about an hour. So come to find out, he's the same dude that was in jail with me 30 years ago, you know? So after we realized that we know each other, he was like, how much would you charge me to come to New York to do, to do a presentation for my organization? I said, man, look here, I ain't used to getting paid for doing this stuff. I usually do it for nothing. He said, well, the day that stops, you know. So I was like, so he said, well, give me a number. So I didn't know what numbers to give him. So I said, I don't know. So I said, well, give me $100 an hour. He said, man, I can do much better than that. I'm gonna holler back at you in 2 days. So in a couple of days, he hollered back at me and he hollered back at, I want to file some numbers. But anyway, by the time he finished, it was like 3 weeks work. And the whole, the 3 weeks work would have entailed me making $60,000, you know, just for the presentation, 60,000. And, me, I'm so not acclimated to looking at my emails like I should. Didn't see the email came to me for 2 weeks to come. And I missed 2 weeks of it. So I was able to pick up the last week. So he asked me while I was here, pay for the hotel, pay for the flight, pay for everything. And paid for me to be here for the week, gave me, said, look, I want you to stay. So he said, would you stay for a year? Would you work with us? I was like, yeah, let's do that for a year. And he said, we negotiated a price. So I've been working with them for that year. So he was like, talking to Camaro, who's Camaro Jackson.
Camaro Jackson.
Camaro Jackson, that's the name, man. That's the, woo. This lady here, man, gives me chills because of the her dedication, man. Camaro Jackson she's a visionary, she's an innovator, and she's an educator. She's formerly an educator, but she loves her community, you know, and she created Elite Learners, and Elite Learners started as violence interrupters. So we're out in the community, walking around, involved in the community with the youth, creating different projects. The project that they brought me was a OSHA project, to teach an OSHA class. And the OSHA project, we gave the youth, we had like 130 something participants, and we gave them $20 an hour to come to the class. So we give you $20 an hour, that's $500 a week to come to the class. And then we gave you your OSHA 10 and your OSHA 30 and job placement. So we're not just over in the community talking it. She's out there actually providing the resources to be able to help us.
Where do I sign up?
Huh?
Where do I sign up?
Hey, well, we still do it. Well, they basically for the youth, but we did have adults too, because we have, other programs. Like right now, we're in the schools and they're doing the mentorship. Like back in the days, they had the teachers' aides. Well, we got the violence interrupters, the mentors inside of the school, so that we can collaborate with the youth and build with them and find out different ways of being able to create the programs and develop the projects that they are in, like the things that they're going to be in tune to, the ways to communicate with them. Because if you're not, on the ground level with them, you're not going to get to them, man. Don't care unless you got a game, and speaking of gaming, man, we finding ways to work through to create curriculums through gaming and esports so that they could be able to, educate through that matter. Whatever it takes, man. But we as a people, man, got to come together and figure it out, man. If not, your grandkids and our grandkids, not your grandkids, but by the time your grandkids kids get born, they're going to be selling them right off the auction block, right at the State House, like, back in that cattle back in the day, because this is what this thing is today, man. This is what's going on right now today. What they showing you is what this world is, man. It's we are the trick. We are the earth, man, and they've been trying, the devil is gonna have an attack on us. But that's his job, and our job is to do what we gotta do to get around it, man, and do what we gotta do, man. And the strength is in our youth. It ain't enough, man. And like Kamara Jackson, like I say, she's doing excellent, man. We in the schools.
Fantastic. Elite victim resource.
Oh yeah, that's another unit that she put me to. She asked me, she said, Mr. Tate, we got a project coming up. Like we want to do, some type of crime victim services. So she got in contact with, did the right paperwork, and Governor Hochul allotted some money for us to be able to do the project. And she created the EVRU unit. EVRU is Elite Victims Resource Unit. And what Elite Victims Resource Unit is so important to the community, because this particular unit, we go directly into the hospital. If someone's shot, I'm authorized to be right on deck, right there. The family could be out front. I could go collaborate with them, go back to the person in the court to the degree. I had a young kid, right? I can't vouch so much, but I can tell you I had a kid back here, 16. He got shot in his leg. So he's laying on the gurney, and he, the pain that he's in is so severe because he's a kid and he got a bullet in his leg. But the tears, it's got the gurney where they got to keep wiping it because he cries so bad, But like a couple of hours before that, he gang, and the thing about it is his troubles is not really just the bullet, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there telling them that I'm gonna contact his moms and his people and do whatever I can do to help him, because I'm services for that, you know? But at the same time, I'm looking at, I'm assessing the situation. There's an officer sitting right here, you know what I mean? That means that there's some trouble with you beyond you getting shot, you know what I'm saying? Either they worried about somebody coming in here retaliating, or either you're in a situation where they're gonna take you. So come to find out, okay, 15 rounds was found in the vicinity. Only one hit him in his leg. He's the only one. So there's an attack on, and they find a gun on you. Now I'm saying that's why the police here. So when you finish this here, you go straight to the precinct. So my advice to you is to get your parents to be at the precinct because you're a minor, so that you have somebody there to talk to. I'm advising them to that effect, which I ain't, but
you're there like that.
Yeah. But the thing about it, as soon as they took him and his family found out, he went he reverted back to what they came there for. That's because the mother and the family is gang. So you swore to secrecy. So you shot, you crying now. Yeah, now the next time, and I tell them like this when they're in their situation. I said, look at here. They're gonna take you upstairs to room such and such and such. Maybe, because you're good. But if you keep coming through here, they're gonna take you downstairs. And they like, what's downstairs, Mr. Tate? I say the freezer, the morgue, it's the last stop, So you want to keep, living, perpetuating this lifestyle. This is where it's going to take you, my name, and I don't mind groaning, I came up. I know what that lifestyle is, but I'm like this. The homies or whatever they got out here now, what they perpetrate, I don't know. How do you allow them to go out and shoot kids and come back? you know, and come back and talk about you represent me. You couldn't represent me back in my days with that.
No,
If you
no.
went out there and
That's
we
true.
doing what we doing, it's okay. This is what we do. But if you came back and told me that some old person or some innocent person got hit, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to hit you.
Right,
Because
right.
I can't do that. I can't, you know, I can't condone that back in our days. But now it's glorified. Yo, you
There's
shot
some
the
moral
baby.
value. There was
Hey.
some there.
Huh?
There was some moral values there.
Hey, man, they don't have no moral. And that's another thing. The spirituality is gone, you know.
Gone.
And what happened is we didn't pass that on to our generations that's coming. We made them have to go through the eras where they had to fend for themselves at any means necessary. And, you know, so a lot of them got lost, man, you know. But fortunately, man, we are the strongest creatures on the earth, man. So you cannot destroy us. So we just have to find that formula. And that formula is the babies. You educate them babies like the Wu say, man. You put them babiis, they are the future. They are.
You gotta take care of babies. We gotta
That's
take
right.
care of babies.
That's it, man. And like I say, I applaud Kamara. I also with Curtis, man, our organization that I work for him with the United Coalition for Humanity.
Yeah, now Curtis Blow, guys. This is the legendary pioneer.
Yeah, Curtis Blow. Yes, yeah. Curtis called me to wish me well and pray with me the other day, you know. But Curtis is you know, a humanitarian to his heart also, man. And this organization, man, I suggest anybody, you know, that, you know, it's open for anybody. We also got a union there, the Hip Hop Alliance, which is a union which we formulated to make sure that people get their, you know, that people stop getting robbed of all their properties and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, that's something that was created during the pandemic.
Work, man. All that work is necessary. I love it.
Hey, man, the coalition, it started during the pandemic. Myself, Curtis, and this brother, Emmanuel Felder, he passed away, man. We was going inside of Rikers Island and going out to the tombs and going to different institutions. And they was, we bringing, you know, spiritual advice, but I was coming with them, bringing, you know, informative material for people that was inside, you know, doing my work. I was just trying to find ways
as
to
a
do my
community
work.
responder. A community responder.
Hey, man, I was enjoying it, man, because myself, Curtis, Theodore, Melly, you know, a bunch of, you know, we was, you know, and then the pandemic, that's the only thing that stopped us, the pandemic. And then once the pandemic came in, we started building the United Coalition for Humanity. And now we have like 9 different components in it. So we got entertainment, we got social justice, we got criminal justice, we got reparation. Wow. We got, you know, so I suggest anybody, UCFH.org, UCFH.org, go on, it's free to join. And UCFH.org. That's United Coalition for Humanity. And Elite Learners is just as it says, elitelearners.org. Elite, the top of the line, learners. We learn you how.
Now, James, let me ask you, if someone needs to get more information, do you have a personal or some kind of contact information for yourself?
Well, you can contact me at my phone number. I'm an old school dude. Just call me 347-776-2432. Leave me a number and a text and let me know who you are and what's going on, and I'll contact you. My email is James Truelove. James Truelove is in TRULUV at Yahoo. Like I say, I'm old school. You know? So I'm still, you know, putting myself together to put my dream together, which is to create Giant Steps. And Giant Steps is my project. And Giant Steps is before, during, and after incarceration. Giant Steps is to find ways to find programs and entities for people that's become victims of crime. So I'm going back to my crime victim services, but I'm reversing it. I'm saying that the person that commit the crime, they are victims also, and not just they victims, their families are victims of this crime too. So what I'm getting ready to do is you get ready to get them some resources, because the kids need therapy, they need school, they need counseling, they need all this courtesy of the state, because you locked their daddy up. or their mama up, you know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna think twice about putting them in there because it's gonna cost you so much money to take care of this family. You ain't gonna be just locking them up no more. So these are the type of programs that Giant Steps gonna create. I'm gonna create between the faith-based organization and the community organization where if a person get locked up, you first thing you do is connect with your faith base. You call your lawyer, but your lawyer call your preacher. And your preacher sends someone from the church to that courtroom. So now what happens, it changes the dimensions of what's going on there. I got the community in that courtroom. So you got to do the right thing by this person, because if you don't, we got this person from the community, and I'm gonna bring every community organization that there is to say that it's gonna make you do what's right, you know. I'm like this here, I'm not Democratic, I'm not Republican, I'm independent. I'm like this, you doing what I pay you to do and what your job is, I'm rocking with you, whether you Democrat or Republican. But if you're not doing your job, I'm throwing rocks at you, whether you either one too. So
that's the way to be.
You know, I just want, you know, you to do what you're supposed to do. You know, that's all I want as far as the system, you know. But after I say the insurrection show you how much the insurrection showed you the corruption, which continues on to today, this very day, at this very time we're speaking. What's going on right now? It's corruption, you know, but that's them. I got to worry about this little bit, this little stuff, that little narrow road that we on. It takes every bit of energy that we got. So we don't even got to worry. We got to let God handle that, because if you go over there and try to handle that, you'll end up over there with them. And I can't be over there. I got to stay over here where I'm safe at, you know, I'm with the Lord, you know. I mean, I can't, that's evil. That's evil. But I'm in it because somebody got to be there for God. I'm there in the operating room. I'm there with the family. I'm there to provide the services through Elite for anyone that's been a victim of crime. You can call us you just pull up Elite Crime Victim Service, or either if you just need to talk to people or whatever. We got counseling. I got free counseling for anyone that suffers from any type of crime. You don't even have to suffer from a crime. I'll send the counseling to you. It's free. I don't have to pay for nothing. I'm gonna send them to sit down with you. They have to meet you in the park. They will come and sit down and talk to you. Because mental health is an issue too, because that's all wrapped up in Giant Steps. Like I say, before you get locked up, we want to bring all that. I'm going to make you spend, if it takes $1,000 to put you in jail, I'm going to make you spend $1,000 to defend you. So now we talk about equal protection of the law, which come under the 14th, the 13th, the 8th, the 9th Amendment of the Constitution, say that I'm afforded as a citizen to equal protection. So I'm gonna make you treat me equal, which gonna cost you. It ain't gonna cost you $900 to send me to the slave block and then now you get $45,000 a year for me for the next 30 years or whatever you decide you want to give me. We're not doing that, you know. We're not gonna bring our kids into that. Those are going to fade out. We're going to kill the institutions that they got set up. Either they're going to revise them, they're going to phase out, man. Those slave plantations, because that's what they are, man. Those criminals
fade out, or they got to be revised.
Huh?
I said they got to fade out. They got to be revised, man.
What sister? What's her name? She wrote the New Jim Crow. Oh, damn, what's her name, man? I met her too. Michelle Alexandria. She wrote the New Jim Crow. And she breaks it down best. She calls it the prison industrial complex.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, you know, what fuels that is educational pipeline to prison. You know, come straight through the school, education, come straight to the school. They start the gang stuff right there in the school. So by the time they get to but they don't even get to graduate. They're in jail already, you know?
Yeah.
They just, you know, that particular case, man, the gentleman you were speaking about with Elite, he's a friend of ours. He come through the office, he's in the community, which we know a lot of people in the community, because a lot of people, they want the help. They come to us, they see us, they know who we are, and they, you know, they bring us information, they let us know what's going on, because they are tired of seeing their kids gunned down. The number one killer of our kids in the country right now is not disease, it's not accidents, it's gun violence. It is, and that's sad to say. And that should be a national, you know, a disaster. It should be, you know, we talk about the babies, man, but there's only a certain generation of babies. That's why it's not a national issue. But we have to understand this here, man. They taking us out at the root. They done, it's genocide.
It's genocide. And you know what? As long as we got guys like James Tate in the building, we are going to be a lot safer, and I promise you. And I thank you so much for being on the show. I mean, we could go on for days and days.
Hey, man, we definitely can, man. I definitely will come back.
We got to do part 2 of this.
I got a lot of projects, man. Like I say, right now, I am the executive director for the National Racial Justice Network for the state of New York. I was appointed that on December 3rd. I am the ambassador for POST, which is Protect Our Stolen Treasures, which is Dr. Candace Brewer's organization in Spartanburg, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, actually. And I'm also over with Elite, with EVRU, and I'm working on Giant Steps. So those are the 4 entities that I'm working on in my life. And as they progress, if you want to bring me back and we explain their progress and where we're going with it, I'll be more than happy, man.
Well,
I thank you so much for inviting me out, King.
Let's man. And listen, God bless you. And I think I talked to you yesterday, and we discussed some things, and I just want to send you my love. And remember what I said, we're not going to claim that little illness.
Oh, no, man. Hey, this was only trying to stop me from getting where you see when it happened. Exactly right. When everything is unfolding. This month here, but just let you know, hey, man, look, it's a small thing for a giant. You know what I'm saying? I work directly for God, man. So I'm protected in every aspect, man. The prayers is all I ask for. Anyone that, really care, put up the prayers, because that's where it counts. You know what I'm saying? Put up the prayers for the work, man. Pray for our youth, man. Pray for our future, man. Help us to redevelop and rebuild our communities after this so-called CV-19. This pandemic. Pandemic.
Yeah, my brother.
All right, peace, King.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Yo, what's up, world? Thank you for tuning in to the Mental Margarita Show. I am the Rebel, and this is my rant. We've all heard the saying, you are what you eat. And it's true. You see, the foods that we eat have a direct impact on our physical and mental health. If we want to be healthy and happy, we need to be mindful of the foods that we put into our bodies. Eating a balanced diet is important to provide our bodies the nutrients it needs to function properly. And if we don't, then we start to feel fatigued, depressed, or even sick. And then vice versa. Eating too much of certain foods can lead to weight gain or other health problems. So what does a balanced diet look like? Well, a good place to start is the food pyramid. No, I'm just kidding like a baby cat. Where you can really start is by including plenty of fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, low-fat dairy, or even a protein in your diet. Make sure that it's lean. And don't be scared to add some healthy fats in there too, okay? Of course, everybody's body is different, and we all have different nutritional diets or needs. So it's important to listen to your body and make sure that you put in the best into your body. If you have any specific dietary restrictions or allergies, make sure that you take those into account when planning your meals as well. When it comes down to it, you are what you eat. Eating a healthy diet is one of the most important things you can do for your body and your mind. So let's make sure that we're putting in good things into our bodies, yes? And also, always be aware of self, be aware of mind, and be aware of others. Thank you, and carpe diem.
you're starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion. And you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty.